Because of its proximity to Atlanta University, Pascal's became a natural headquarters for the civil rights movement. When nearby students were arrested at sit-ins, the Pascal brothers kept their doors open late while parents waited for their children to get out of jail.
And it was the 60s, though, where the students and the community leadership began to hold meetings here, and where much of the strategy of the civil rights movement and almost all of the politics tended to evolve.
I moved to the West Side at age 15, and although I'd been taught the history of downtown Atlanta in school, my perception of my new neighborhood was largely based on what the media portrayed. So I, like most people, could only see the poverty, the crime, and the remnants of a great history that was long behind us now. It wasn't until I attended Spelman College that my entire perspective shifted. It may be hard to believe, but in those 18 years as a Black woman, I had never understood how deeply race played a part in my life. But on those commutes to school, crossing over streets named Joseph E. Boone and Joseph Lowry, and a host more in between, brought me face to face with reality. These experiences pushed me to understand the value of the Historic West Side as truly an incubator for the Black movements that shaped my social position in the world. It forced me to think critically about the weight of economic disparity in all communities of color. And it compelled me to stare at my own biases in the face and obligate myself to creating change with and for my neighbors, like the leaders before me.
An obligation to the community and to the students and the other leaders that were really playing a great part in the movement, so we felt that we were somewhat obligated to make that contribution.
Now, I understand the need for revitalization, especially in this community. But I will ask this: why not build with the people here? Why does renewal always mean replacement? When Nehemiah went back to rebuild Jerusalem, he did not push the people out and tear down the old. No, he rebuilt what was already there. He looked at the impoverished state of the people and did not judge them for their misfortune. Instead, he gave them resources to feed and build wealth for their families. I am urging us all to not accept things as black and white, as I did at age 15. When you look at the places in this neighborhood, be reminded of its historical value and its importance to the city and to Black identity. When you see people in this neighborhood, be mindful of the systemic reasons for blight, crime, and poverty in marginalized communities. Do not close yourself off to the unfamiliar, but see things for what they are. Open your heart to learn and experience life through a different view. So, I'm here to ask, can you see past the material value of our community? Can you see past our proximity, its convenience, and the multi-million-dollar potential? And look at the faces of the people. The people who have been historically limited economically and racially. The people who built a thriving community despite those limitations in the 1960s, 50s, 40s, and long before that. Can you see the people who have fought to sustain the community despite the lack of access to resources like proper health care and fresh food, despite neglect through years of blight and natural weather devastation? The people who continue to build and have hope. The people who still find joy and laughter. The people who have families, who have dreams. Do you see them? Will you choose to? When you envision a future West Side, do you see us?